Okay.
Hi, welcome to All Booked Up. I'm Beth Hildenbrand, and today our special guest is Kerry Marzock. So, Kerry, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Beth. Thanks for inviting me to join. I've watched some of your shows and they're great, and so
Thank you.
I'm really happy to be part of it. Well, I presently live in Canton, Ohio, of all places. Um, I had to move here in 2021 because our home got destroyed in the flooding from Hurricane Ida back in 2021. I had lived in Philadelphia for 40 years and loved it there, and so we came here, and everything is okay. Um, I'm still working part time, which is crazy for my age, but it keeps me busy and puts money in my pocket. So whenever I find time, I try and write. So, and I live with a wonderful cat named Queen Cleopatra, Cleo for short.
So, a fellow Philly girl. I love that.
Well, actually, I mean, I lived in Philly going back to 1975. But prior to that, my family and my dad moved us to nearby you, Lancaster,
Yes.
Pennsylvania. Yes, yes.
Lancaster County, home of the whoopie pie.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love our whoopie pies. And the Green Dragon. Have you been to the Green Dragon?
I have not. No.
Oh,
I've been,
well, we're going to have to get you to the Green Dragon.
yeah, yeah. And I love it there. And I think eventually, and maybe in the next couple of years, I'll be moving back there. So to be,
Excellent.
yeah,
They have some really cool haunted tours down in Lancaster. We'll have to do one of those too. I was
yes,
looking
they
them up
do.
on the internet. They have some cool
Yeah.
ones. And I saw one on one of those haunted shows. Um, that ice skater, Johnny Weir,
Uh-huh.
is from around here.
Yes, he is.
And
Yeah.
he was on, I don't know, one of those celebrity haunting shows. And it showed a place in Lancaster County. I'll have to look into that too.
Yeah. And
But that
then,
looked interesting.
yeah, and then we'll talk a little bit about it when we talk about my books. But Eastern State Penitentiary is just awesome
I haven't been there yet, and I so want to go.
to go to go through. There is like you can go through yourself if you want to, or you can join like a group that has a tour guide. Um, me and my friend and roommate Sheila, back then we went through it together, and it was just so cool. And then I went back through it again myself, uh, maybe a couple months later. But it's very eerie, and there's a lot of stories about ghost cats and everything there. So it's pretty cool.
I have watched, I think, every show or ghost show they've done on Eastern State Penitentiary, and
Yeah,
yeah, I've just got to get there. I have got to get there.
yeah.
We should say hi to our viewers and good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Good morning.
And Nina says, "What inspires you to write your books?"
Well, I've always written. I mean, even going back to when I was young, starting to write short stories and stuff about Disney characters way back when. And then for a while there, I didn't write at all. Um, and then in the early 2000s, I got involved with writing more poetry and got joined I can't remember if the name of the website was poets.com or poetry.com. I forget. I'm not even sure if they're around anymore. But I made a lot of great friends, and I wrote a lot of poetry, and that poetry turned into short stories, and then eventually, um, I don't know where I got the nerve to do it, but I wrote my first novel.
Well, speaking of novels, I want to talk about Raven's Way
Okay,
because I loved it. I
thank you.
loved it. Werewolves and Philly, and it was just such a great read for me. Uh, I was talking to someone, I don't know, I can't remember exactly, uh, while I was in Texas, and I was reading the book, and I I started reading some of it out loud, and they thought I was reading a news report about what was going on in Philly,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh my God, you're kidding me!" And I was like, "No, it says so right here." And it took a minute to get the conversation straight that this wasn't something happening in Philly right then and there. I was like, no, 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 no. This is what I'm reading in the book.
That's pretty much the first chapter. Yeah, yeah.
And oh, it was so funny. And I was reading about the people being found on the golf course
Okay,
when they found the bodies on the golf course. That's what it was.
okay.
And they thought this was actually happening. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm reading this. This is in the book. This isn't, a news story. For heaven's sakes, there's not people all butchered on the golf course in Philly. Uh, but yeah, it was such a good book. I really enjoyed it, and you get such a pleasure out of reading something that's set in your hometown. You really do. And well,
Yeah,
not hometown, but your area, your neck of the woods, and you can relate to the places, the street names and the specific areas of town that you've been. And it's just makes it really a lot more fun to read when you can visualize the places uh, in your mind of where the story takes place. So yeah, I really got a charge out of your book. I enjoyed it so much, and the whole horror part. You nailed it. You really did. The story was fabulous, and I take it there's more after this one.
yeah. The follow up, which also is in print, is Raven's Rage, Order of the Claw, and
Mm.
that picks up where Raven's Way left off, and and that's the one where the final battle takes place at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, I got to read that one. I have to.
I had so much, I had so much
And
fun. Yeah,
your characters were so realistic, and I like characters that feel like you know them. That you get
so
close to them,
yeah,
and you really did in your book. Um, Even because your paranormal characters are a little harder to feel like make them feel real, but
uh-huh.
you did. I mean, you did. It didn't seem like a monster character, even though it was a monster. You humanized them. This is what I'm trying to say. You humanized them, and it uh, made the reader empathetic towards them. You wanted a good outcome for them. You wanted to see them win. You rooted for them, and the detective, she was I want to say what my kids say. She was tits, but that's probably I don't know if if all my watchers will go along with that. But she was the shit. She was dope. I loved her. She was too cool. Um, and yeah, it was amazing. It was awesome, and everybody needs to read this book. I'm sorry, a cold medicine is leaving me a little tongue tied here this morning. I'm
That's
still trying to get over this crazy cold, but yeah, it was a very good book. It was very well written. And it has inspired me to read the next one in the series because I
right.
enjoyed it so much. And you definitely want to see where the characters go next.
Yeah,
You enjoyed the characters so much you want to continue to follow them and see what happens next for them.
yeah. I have briefly started the third Raven novel. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to really plunge into it, but that's going to be titled Raven Unleashed, and
Ooh.
for there's a lot more surprises. Uh, Um, just a couple funny points about uh, the Raven books is the main character. I kind of like. I kind of feel like she was patterned after me, or I put myself in her body because I wanted to, I wanted to feel her as she did everything in the book. And she happens to live in the house that I lived in for almost 40 years on Shamwine Avenue.
Ah,
Okay. And her dog, Rain, was my dog. So, Rain will forever live in my.
I was so scared for Rain. I was. I was so
Yeah.
glad when Rain was saved. It was like, oh no, 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 she can't do that. She can't do that.
Well,
and and then when it worked out okay, I was like, oh, thank
yeah.
goodness. Yes,
And
you can't have that happen to Rain, but Rain was okay. And cause, you had my heart going there for a few minutes.
yeah, and she becomes more of just a dog now.
Yes,
Then.
yes, I
Yeah.
like that. That was cool. I've never seen that done before. That was
Yeah.
cool. I
Yeah.
like when somebody can surprise me, and that did. Because when you read a lot, a surprise is a good thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
that one got me. So yeah, kudos on that one. But yeah, you had me. I thought, oh no, she did not. And then you say so. Thank you for that. Well, Nina would like to know what are your favorite characters to write.
One of my favorite characters to write. Well, obviously, definitely like werewolves. Um, Ravens Raid brings in also more of a vampire influence too.
Ooh. Yes, there
So
was that master
Ravens Raid,
vampire in the book.
yes, right at the end. But he's not a good vampire. Not that any
Yeah,
vampires
you
are
could
good,
tell. You could tell. He
but
was a bad guy.
but Raven's Rage brings in a much more of the Philadelphia vampire influence, so to speak.
Ooh.
And and I like aliens. That's what Reptilian Factor's about.
Now, you mentioned on one of my shows that you were doing a serial killer.
That's the book that I'm working on right now. It was kind of finished, but I decided it was a little shorter than I wanted it to. So I've been working to add some stuff, change some characters around, and I also wasn't sure about a name for it, but I've come up with I think a pretty cool name title.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to this one.
And if you want to know the title,
Yes, absolutely. Leaving me hang here.
well, you got half of it. It's going to be titled "Hung Up on Murder."
Ooh, ooh. Oh, well, everybody loves a good hanging.
Well, and that's kind of like some of the basic killer. So
Ooh, ooh.
I'm actually working on it now. So I'm hoping to maybe have it done in the next 2 months. 2 months. And then
Yay.
if I ever get a chance to finish it also, I started a fantasy horror novel a number of years back. That's probably about 100 and some pages. I actually lost some of it back in the flood, and
Oh,
it wasn't saved. So I kind of have to reconstruct that from my memory if I can remember that. But that's going to be titled Scrolls of Sorrow.
Well, some people would always appreciate sneak peeks, and then we can always have you back on the show
All
when you
right.
do a release and talk about the new book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to. Yeah. Absolutely.
See how I do that sneak peeks? Yeah, let me have it first, please. Oh, I do love it. I do love it. Um, I like sneak peeks. They're fun. Uh,
So,
and,
Raven's
and I'm not too proud to beg. Oh, there's Raven's Way. Yes, I love the cover. I do.
well,
It's
and then
gorgeous.
and
Oh,
then
and we're going to talk about that. Oh, yes.
yeah.
That's your little picture on your Facebook. Yeah, that one is so badass.
Now, actually, the basis of that cover, that hallway and everything, I took that picture at Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh,
Yeah. And then
you were telling me about that.
and the werewolves weren't there the day I was there. We had to kind of plug them in.
Aw, not fair.
Yeah,
Not fair. You was gypped.
they come out at night anyway at Eastern State. uh,
Yeah, you never know what you're going to find in Philly.
nah, nah.
All kinds of show down there.
Yeah,
Um,
I started the third Raven novel too. When I sort of got, I don't know when I'm ever going to get the time to write all this stuff, but the third Raven novel will be titled Raven Unleashed. So anyway,
I know. Is it right, right, right?
well,
I know what you mean.
I wish I could write full time, but I work 6 hours a day, so it's kind of hard then to, once you spend 6 hours in front of a computer screen, well, the last thing you want to do is look at another one.
Oh, I'm sure. See,
Yeah.
I do nothing. I don't have a job. Well, I do the mom gig, but uh, I do my writing. I'm lucky I can do that. I'm blessed. Um, so, uh, but I do spend a lot of my day as a taxi, back and forth to school, and things like that. But yeah, I'm pretty much up all night reading and researching, and then the mornings are for the kid, and then I start writing early evening, and then when I'm done writing, I read.
Okay.
And while I eat, I read. And while I sit in the parking lot at the school, I read. So that's when I get all my reading in and my reading, and then I get my few hours of writing done, yeah, in the early evening. And
Uh,
I need to get my book done for J.R. Byers, and and I am now doing a story for a book that I am very happily going to announce later at the end of the show.
okay. Well, I have two of your books, and I started the one, but it's just my finding the time to read, which I love to do.
Okay. Um, Nina is asking. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something? Oh, about my books? Hmm. Uh, well, I don't expect people to rush through my books. I'm thankful that you got them, and I hope that you enjoy them. Uh,
Oh, wait. Oh no, I don't remember the title. I apologize for that. It's by
oh, oh,
Karen.
that's okay.
But
Uh, I think you got Death Rights, which I just wrote for fun. The one about the indie horror author.
yeah,
I was just in the mood to do something for fun, and
uh,
that's where that one came from, and it did pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that. She won two awards, so
oh,
we say yay. Hey,
yeah.
Go me.
Absolutely.
It's my birthday. And Nina is asking, what is the most challenging scene and chapter that you had to write and why?
Um, I think sometimes the hardest and challenging uh, chapters I write or scenes that I write sometimes are when I have to kill off a character that I like, you know, or put them in situations where they really get hurt. I kind of feel that. So I think those are the hardest ones for me to write because I want to be vivid and everything, but sometimes the more vivid I become, the harder it is in my heart to accept.
See, I love to kill people off. It's fun for me.
Well, I don't mind killing people off, but if I develop a character that I really like, that's the hard one. That's the hard one. So, oh yeah, killing, that's fine, no problem.
Well, yeah, I was going to end Cain, and Nina's going to pop up any minute raising Cain. Because I was, the third Cain book was going to be my last. And then her and Nina and Josephine both just went bonkers. So I'm going to do one more. Uh,
Okay.
uh, but yes, Cain was going to end. And, and I don't know. Part of me loves Cain and always will because he was my baby.
Mm.
But another part of me wanted to move on.
Yeah,
And
they have. Yeah,
so I think, you see, yes, Daddy Cain. I know, Nina, you love your Daddy Cain. Uh, so this will be the last one, and then we're going to lay Daddy Cain to rest. Um, I love Cain, but yeah, there's so much more popping in my brain that I want to explore. And I think Cain has had his time, and this last one's going to be a big, huge explosion. And Daddy Cain forever. I love you, honey. And we're gonna let him go after this one. You
well,
can it's like let's see, the band that has their last show for the fifth time. We're retiring, and then they come back again, and they retire and they come back again. Yeah,
yeah.
that kind of thing. So
Well, I
this will
think,
be the last one.
yeah. One of my favorite authors is Laurel K. Hamilton,
Oh, I
and
love Laurel. Yes.
my God, she's had. I mean, once I got involved in her books, she's had such an influence on me. But I love the Anita Blake series, and it's like 30 some novels in that series. It's incredible. Uh, it, it just goes on and on and on. It's like, um,
I love Laurel K. Hamilton. Um,
yeah.
I think I read like the first 10, and it started getting too sexed for me,
You
which
know, I I
I
agree
love
with you.
sex. I
Yeah,
love sex. Give me the sex. Bring on the sex. But there was almost no story to it anymore.
I agree with you. I do. I haven't really read any of her recent novels in the New Blake series, but um, hopefully that's kind of tailed off. I do have some recent books. I just haven't read them yet.
Yeah, I mean, I can go back and try again. But yeah, she was, I mean, for so long, she stayed away from the sex. She
Yeah,
held off. She was like a teasing virgin. And I
yeah,
loved that about her.
yeah.
And
It's okay.
then when she finally hit the sex, it was like, okay, now we ain't doing nothing but having sex.
Yeah, I forget. I mean, I don't remember the title or which book it was, but I think the first 100 and some pages were like, I kept thinking to myself, okay, when's the novel going to start? You know?
I know. It was like me at 16. Okay, finally got me some. Now I'm not stopping.
Yeah. But
So yeah, yeah, you got sex burnout. You wanted some steak with your cake. You know,
yeah,
give me
yeah,
some meat with my treat. So yeah, I totally agree. But I love her to pieces, and her books are great. I just I started wanting more story with the sex.
I agree.
That's just for me. If I want straight erotica, I will buy erotica,
Yeah,
which I do. But yeah, for her, I enjoyed her stories. So I was a little disappointed when we lost the stories in the books.
yeah, I, yeah. And then, besides writing fiction, I also write poetry.
I
And
did not know that about you
yeah,
because
yeah,
I'm a poetry nerd. I love poetry.
yeah. Let's see here. I have a Sea of Emotion,
Ooh,
and then I also have Along a Burning Highway, which is a
ooh,
common.
that is a cool cover.
I know, and
I love that cover.
it's a
Ooh,
combination of poetry and short stories, and then it has the first chapter of both Raven novels.
ooh, I'm gonna have to get me those.
All right, and I also you know I think this is why I don't have time to write sometimes. Um, I'm also vice president and chief editor for Wild Publications. My partner is Susan Joyner Stump, who started the publishing company years ago, and then I met her about 2 years ago and got involved with there. So I edit the books and stuff, and then she puts all the magic, puts them together.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. It's under Wildfire Publications.
Well, everybody check that out.
Yeah, we do mostly poetry books, but we also do a quarterly magazine, which I have asked you to be part of in the next one. And
Oh, well, thank you. I would be happy to.
I will bug you about that when it's ready to start accepting submission.
Absolutely bug me. I'm always happy to.
Yeah.
And I forget. So yes, bug me. Ask Nina. Well, you saw the other day I put up Happy Monday coffee post, and it was Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah, I got back from Texas, and my days were so mixed up. After 2 days in the car, and I thought, okay, yeah, I'm all good. I'm home. I'm back on track, and yeah, sure I was.
uh
Yeah, it's that Nina keeps me pretty much on track, but she missed me on that one. uh, yeah, I kind of went off the rails that day. But yeah, you'll have to bug me because I forget everything unless somebody is you know riding my tail. I'm
uh
I'm a little lost, and I tried my schedule, and then when I came back from Texas, my dog had eaten all of May and half of June on my calendar.
Oh no.
Yeah, the
No.
kids were supposed to be watching the dogs, and I mean the only thing I can say is they kept their little brother alive. Okay, everything else was a shambles, but the little guy was still alive. Uh,
Oh,
Now he's 17, so there wasn't much to do in that department. They managed to keep that going, but
wow.
but yeah, everything on the calendar. I was like, oh my god, I hope Nina has this because mine is gone. So yeah, I had lost half of my calendar, and but my child was still among the living, so we managed that. Although they did miss picking him up from school one day, and he was standing outside of school just waiting for somebody to show up.
Oh, no, 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 no.
So yeah, but that was the biggest faux pas with the little guy that they had. I still call him little guy, and he's 17. He's my baby, so I try and keep him the little guy. Uh, but
He'll,
okay, enough of my ramblings on my children.
he'll, he'll always.
He will. He will. He's going to be my baby forever, the poor kid. I mean, he could have walked home, but no, I made people pick him up. So now you had on Facebook, you're selling your books with bookmarks and things. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I posted this morning. Yeah, I put them up for sale. They're all $12 each, which is lower than they're selling for on Facebook. I mean, on Amazon. And I have a special that if you buy all 3 novels, and it's $10 each, so $30 plus shipping and handling. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, I did this before and I got some nice feedback and everything. So we'll see.
Okay.
And
Did you
all
put
they,
that on my page?
huh?
Did you put that on my Facebook page?
No, because I just did it this morning. So I'll go ahead and share it to
Yeah,
you.
go ahead and put that on my page, yeah, for people to see. Um, and yeah, check out Kerry's books because they're amazing, and I'm going to snag a couple of those myself.
So all you have to do really is message me,
Okay.
and or anyone who's interested, just message me. I'll go from there.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thanks. Yeah.
Now we should probably get on to some news
All right.
because I have a refrigerator coming. I'm so excited. Nothing like new appliances to make a girl's heart go pitty pat. Yeah, just like getting a vacuum cleaner for your anniversary, right? Every woman's dream. Yeah, don't give me sparkly things. Give me a vacuum, please. Okay. Oh, now we are going to be having release parties on the show Mondays for the next 3 weeks. So these are new authors coming out with their first books. And I'm saying, everybody, if you have the time, they're going to be, like 15, 20-minute shows just to let you know and introduce you to these new authors and their great new books. And, when a book baby is born, it is a blessing to the world.
Wow.
So everybody stop by and check out the new authors and their new books.
Do you know what I did when I first book in the mail? I opened the box, I started crying right away, and I slept with that book the first night.
I believe that. That's true. It's just like you just look and you think, oh my God, I did this. This isn't real, right?
No,
It's just the feeling is overwhelming.
yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, anybody who wants to support these authors, come on out because we all remember that feeling of that first book.
I support my friend authors.
Yeah, it's just it's indescribable, and so I'm doing this to show the love, having these little shout outs. Nina says it's going to be awesome. Yes, it is. Everybody should have their own little, first book baby party.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just fabulous. And I'm just so thrilled to be doing it. My most favorite erotica writer, Pebbles Lacasse, has a pre-order book out, and I got to move my stuff around. My Best Friend's Brother. Now, I read everything Pebbles puts out, and you should go look on her page, pre-order on Amazon, because she does great stories with great smut. I love them. Now, uh, this is an important biggie here, folks. Uh, well, hang on. Let me finish the news first, and then I'll get to this. Okay. Wednesday, I am going to have Alex S. Johnson and Pixie Bruner. They are two badass poets. And we're going to be talking about their upcoming book, We Are Gregor. It's about, it's a disability rights anthology. And it's going to be a kick-ass show. So please show up. You're going to love it. Talking some awesome poetry. And you know, I am a poetry nerd. So I am going to be like, oh, thank you for coming. I'm going to just be in awe through the whole show. And then next Saturday's show will be Carly Yates, one of my favorite people. She's a sweetheart. And we're going to be talking about her books. Now, here's the biggie. So, the book, Hand of Doom, was put together by Alex S. Johnson and J.C. Masick III. The foreword was written by Martin Popoff. All proceeds go to the Children of the Night Foundation, which is to stop child trafficking. This is a great organization. The book is a collection of stories based on Black Sabbath songs, which, okay, these are all things dear to my heart. I love heavy metal. We all know that there would be no heavy metal if there were no Black Sabbath. And children are just the world to me. Having 5 sons myself, I think when I got my mothering gene, or the whole nurturing thing, they double dosed me because I've never met a child I don't like. But, well, maybe one or two, but even then, I still, was like, okay, you're a rotten kid, but I love you. So, yes, and kids get the short end of the stick every time. It doesn't matter what. It always seems like, kids are the ones that they can't fight back. Ever. They're kids. The very, innocence and children are synonymous. I'm just all about the kids, okay? So this whole project, they're getting ready to do a second book. And we're going to do a special show on this, a date to be announced soon. And I would like everybody to turn out for this. It's very important when we do this show. I want the whole world to know about this, because child trafficking is happening right as we speak. Kids are being snatched off the street. Kids are being, some pimp is shoving a little girl in a motel room as we speak, and using her for God knows what. So let's do what we can to help the kids who can't help themselves. Yes, and I have been asked to put a story in the second book. Yes, they've asked me for a story. So I'm doing my share to help out the kids, and I hope that you all, that you all can tune in and be a big part of this. It's an important cause to me, and it should be an important cause for everybody who has ever had a child, known a child, or cared about a child. Oh, Kerry's back.
I got a phone call.
So, thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you Wednesday night when we have the amazing Alex S. Johnson, and Pixie Bruner.
I'll be there.
Thank you to Nina Courtwright. Thank you to Josephine Wrightson, and mostly thank you to Kerry Marzock for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me, Beth.
Oh, you're very welcome. And bye-bye, everybody. Love ya.
Bye.
Okay.